What is a real business? Well, if you don't have standing orders, direct debits, and regular payments that come out of your business every month, as far as I'm concerned, it's not a real business. It's a full-time hobby. I'll give you out the list. I'm famous for lists, and you see if you can change my mind. If you don't have standing orders and commitments that your business has to pay for every month, it's not a real business. Phone contract. If your mobile phone is a personal phone, you're not using it for business. If you're making any calls for your business, you're going to have some sort of phone contract which you are obliged to pay every month. If you're on pay as you go, I understand that you can get SIM only deals and all the rest of it. You're still going to have some sort of payment that you need to make. And even if you say, oh well, it's a one-off payment, £200 a year, okay, but you should be splitting that £200 by 12 months and putting that money aside each month into a pot so that at the end of the year you've saved up the £200 to pay for it. Sorry, got a reminder come up. Accountant's bill, again, that's probably a one-off annual cost. Some people I know do have monthly costs, but again, if you don't have an accountant, you're not running a real business. As far as I'm concerned, yes, you can do self-assessments and things online yourself, but you are not going to be doing it properly or effectively like an accountant can do. So again, let's say it's 300 quid if you're a sole trader, 1,500 up to 2,000 if you're a limited company per year. Obviously, you're going to put money aside each month so that when that annual bill comes up and they say, we've done the work for you, here's the bill, you've put the money aside each month, you've saved it up. Again, it's not a standing order, it's not a direct debit, but you should be putting that money aside in a savings pot. Public liability insurance, in my opinion, if you don't have public liability, you are not professional. It means you are taking risks with other people's property. You could cause damage which you are unable to pay, whether you're a sole trader, limited company. You could create damage, you could drop a tin of paint off a scaffolding and damage a Ferrari below. You could drop the tin of paint off and it could hit someone's head. You could kill someone. Again, you're not going to be able to pay for these things. So if you don't have public liability insurance, again, I don't think you're a legitimate and professional business. And your insurance is probably between 100, 300 a year. Again, you should be putting money aside because it's not going to be a standing order of direct debit each month. Put money aside each month into a savings pot. When that annual bill comes up, you can pay for it. So at the moment, all these bills are potentially not contracts. Computer backups, websites, data backups, networking, all of that. Again, put money in a pot each month. Again, this is not a standing order or a direct debit. Maybe a website or something might be a rolling contract each month. Vehicle, so this is where what I call serious proper commitments kick in. You're going to have maintenance, they're going to be one-offs, so you should be putting money aside each month to go towards maintenance and one-off repairs. MOT, that can be annual, but again, save some money each month. Servicing, annual service, put money aside each month. AA, if you subscribe to the AA, if you've got an older vehicle, that's going to be a monthly subscription. You're paying that monthly subscription to run your business. If you don't have it, you can't work because you don't have the vehicle. At the moment, mine's only £12 a month. It's nothing for the reassurance that I know that if I get stuck, they will come out and be there within half an hour, 1 hour, and I'm back on the road earning money again. It's only £12 a month, like I said. Then you've got saving up money to replace your vehicle because you're using it for business. You're using it a lot more than if you're using it personally. It's going to break. One day you're going to need to replace it. So put money aside in a savings pot every month. Insurance, that can be annual cost, or you might split it each month. And the dreaded tax, it's not road tax, vehicle excise duty, it's about emissions. If you can, again, do it monthly. There's no reason to stack it up to be a big bill at the end of the year. Much better, I find, for cash flow, to have these things broken down into their monthly amount so you can see how much your business needs to earn each month to offset and pay for its overheads, and after that you're making profit for the business each month. Again, if these things are not set up in your business, if these are not monthly commitments, then you're not running a proper business, you're running a full-time hobby. Insurance, again, this is not public liability, this is health insurance. So all these things, by the way, are all about construction industry. Other businesses might have completely different criteria, might be running a completely different way. I can only talk about the experience that I've got since year 2000, 23 years. hospital cash, that's if you fall off a ladder, you're in hospital. If you are ill, if you can't work, I used to have insurance for, I think it paid out £50 for every 24 hours I was in hospital. I decided to cancel that, and now I put that money aside into a savings pot. So rather than give it to an insurance company, I'm spending it on myself, put it in a separate savings pot. So heaven forbid, touch wood, anything ever happens, I've saved it up for a rainy day. Then you can also get accidental injury, and this is something that your business can pay for because in your line of work you're doing something which is risky. If you're sat in an office job at a computer, you won't need accidental injury insurance, because you're probably not doing something which is putting you at risk of an accident. So also healthcare and life insurance. So all of these could be one policy, they could be 3 separate policies, could be whatever you want. If you don't have them, you're taking a risk that every time you go up a ladder for £50 or £100, what's the point in taking that risk if you then fall off and can't work for a month? That's why you should, I think, have these insurances, and these should be paid monthly. The insurances that I've got, I think they total, one of them's £5.22, the other one was £9, which I then cancelled and got a different healthcare policy. But we're talking pennies each month. Set it up every month, make that commitment, pay it. You're running a professional business. You're doing this full time. You're doing it day in, day out. If the chance of an injury is 1 in 10, most Joe Bloggs people, DIYers, will take that risk and go, it's only 1 in 10. If you're doing it professionally, you're going to do it 10 times a month. The chances are you're going to fall off that ladder once per month. When you look at it that way, you go, well, it's only a 10% chance. Yeah, but you're doing it more frequently. You're rolling that dice more often. The chances are you are eventually going to fall off of it. Salary, obviously, you want to pay yourself a regular amount. That's a commitment. Set it up, stand in order, pay yourself a fixed amount every month. I do it at the start of the month. I always pay myself first. I am not waiting for the scraps at the end. Pension. How are you going to work up a ladder at the age of 65? You're not. You're probably not going to go up a ladder at the age of 55 or 60. So start putting the money in a pension every month now and save for your future. And again, this is a standing order you should set up every month. Other things that you might commit to and have standing orders might be advertising. You might put a regular amount into magazine advertising, for example. I do 2 magazines. One of them's, I think, £12, the other one's 13, or 13 and 14, I can't remember. But they were both standing orders. They did try to get me to pay the full amount up front for the whole year, but things change. And I would rather do it monthly and then cancel it at any point, but also break that figure down, get it into a monthly cost, no commitment there because you're doing it monthly, and you can also see how much your business needs to earn each month to break even, and then each month to make a profit. Then on top of that, these are not standing orders, these are not direct debits. Every job that you win, every time you get paid, you should put 20% into a tax pot. When your tax bill comes at the end of the year, hopefully it's less than 20%, you'll have some expenses, you'll have some allowances, some reliefs. So hopefully you've put aside 20% of every job, and that means that when you go to pay your tax, it should be less than the amount you've put in the pot. So actually come tax day is, for me, a really good time of the year because I've put thousands aside to pay the tax bill. The amount I need is less. Some goes to the tax man, others goes to me as profit, dividends. Then the last thing is profit. So you could set a percentage of every job that you want to make as profit. That's for the business. Put that in a separate pot as well. Every time you get paid, put a percentage into the separate pot. When you then want to invest in the business, buy a new set of ladders to chuck yourself off of. You've saved up that amount. You go, those ladders are £400, which is not a million miles off. You've saved up that percentage on each job, and you've got the money sat there. You don't have to wait. You don't have to get paid, anything like that. You've got the money ready to go. Again, to reiterate, and by all means, try and change my mind. If you don't have standing orders set up from your business bank account, running your business, you're not running a real business. You're running a hobby, a full-time hobby.